Here is your Wednesday vacation week Worst of the Riot podcast.
He was already laughing before we started.
How about this? Nikki rejects Eric's bagel, but says it's not true.
I vaguely remember that.
I do.
Yeah, because he bought it for him, and then he felt bad, right? I think, because it was a cinnamon one, and I never liked those.
You know what? You'll have to listen to the podcast
Let's see what happens.
Obadiah swears the bathroom is the murder room.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. I was there. I'm pretty sure that's from my vacation last year. And
it happened, and there was something.
I'm telling you, man, it was not a good place. These are definitely from my vacation last year. It's okay to not want to fish.
Aww. Was that from your vacation?
That's got to be me talking about spending time with family
Oregon?
That are like, let's go fishing. And I'm like, let's not.
I can't. But then instead, you're always... Like, I remember you telling in the beginning, you probably always felt like they were just like, oh, he's just playing video games.
He's not man enough.
He's not man enough to even go fishing.
Which, don't get me started.
Listen, we're on vacation. Do not think about it.
Fishing and playing video games, the same thing. Except you can avoid all the gross fish.
By just playing it in a video game.
Otherwise, you're just sitting there with your hands in your lap. That's fishing. That's video games.
Everybody can like what they like.
Okay, so iguanas in Florida, barbecuing, the Instagrammer selling her bathwater, the meow-obesity crisis.
Oh, I remember that.
And Nikki has a chicken problem, and it's not tenders.
So is that when that started?
I guess.
Maybe.
So you guys will have to listen to the podcast and find out.
With my neighbor.
That's a great choice, Hudson.
Even though now that I realize, looking back at that story... I now know that they weren't chickens. They were like pheasants. They were like exotic birds.
Right.
I don't know if that's better or worse, but they still made the same noise a chicken does.
Still bad.
And they're still birds.
Hey, enjoy the podcast, and we'll be back tomorrow with more Worst of the Riot.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
Because in Denver, they're starting to eat geese. All right.
Well, we talked earlier this week in Denver. They have such a big geese problem that they'll be coming in as the city, and they're going to be removing them, if you know what I mean, and then taking the removed geese into a processing facility, and then if allowed, they'll be giving that food to homeless and needy people in the area.
Mm-hmm.
All on the up and up, like people will know that it's geese, but that's what their plan is. So now in Florida, though, you're not even allowed to feed this stuff to people. Can you eat iguanas?
Sure you can.
Are you allowed to?
Can you eat iguanas?
Iguanas, like, is that actually
According to National Geographic, the species has been declared endangered in some countries,
but
they've
Florida.
Been eating iguanas for a long time. Okay, so in Florida, they've got a problem. And, of course, they think the answer to it is guns.
They didn't say how to kill it.
They didn't say how. You're right. They say that the state is being overwhelmed with iguanas. Like, there are so many iguanas in Florida right now that it's too many. And it has now become okay to kill an iguana on your property.
Well, people have been wondering, is it okay or will you get in trouble? Like, do you need a permit to kill?
You do not.
Because sometimes when you have, like, certain animals, there'll be, like, a hunting season for it.
Yeah.
But they're saying if you have a green iguana, you can kill it on your property. You can do that. And actually, they're encouraging people, if you do see one, kill it whenever possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then year-round and without a permit on 22 public lands in South Florida. So even if it's a public place, you might be able to, too.
Speaking of a 22, that's probably what...
Is that... How would you kill an iguana? I mean, are you going to hit it with a shovel, or what are you going to do?
You just don't lead them as much.
You can't shoot... I mean, can you shoot the thing? Are you allowed to shoot your gun?
Well, that's going to be up to, the zoning where you live. Like, there are places where it's perfectly legal on your property to discharge a firearm.
And other areas where it's not.
Not so much.
It's too big. Like with a spider
what, you think,
or a bug.
Like with a bat?
No, but with a spider or a bug, I take like an over amount of toilet paper tissue so you don't feel the body when you crush it and flush it. For an iguana.
Hang on. Crush it and flush it.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to just squeeze it and just say bye-bye and then flush it down the toilet. How are you supposed to kill an iguana?
You know what? You just
smother it?
You put some work into Come on in. You lay
You
down.
want to sleep in the bed?
Lay down here on the pillow.
No, under the pillow.
Just no. You let him go to sleep.
Oh, and then he just doesn't wake up.
Yeah, that's right.
So Florida is saying, actually,
you put him in a little chamber and you just put carbon monoxide in there and he falls asleep.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
You asked.
No, I don't know.
You asked.
I don't know.
I'm trying to come up with humane ways to kill iguanas.
I don't want to know.
And all of a sudden, I'm a monster.
You are, because you're telling me stuff. No, I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so for Stuart, he said he texted, a lot of iguanas have salmonella, so you're not supposed to eat them as much for the iguanas.
What if you got one of those, what was that, the Boring Company flamethrowers? There you go. Just chase after it with a flamethrower. Pretend like you're in Aliens.
Southern Florida is telling you if you see a green iguana
on your property
to please go ahead and kill it. They're having so much of an issue.
Maybe you run it over with your car.
So Carl,
this is fun, just coming up with ways to kill iguanas.
Oh, it's not.
It was your idea.
No, it's not my idea. Carl is in Florida. Poison? He sees alligators all the time on his drive, but he's never seen an iguana in his area in Florida. But this is Southern Florida, they're saying.
Mm-hmm. So what if you...
So if you're in Northern Florida, get ready because all the iguanas are coming soon.
It is true. You could go ahead and kill these iguanas, but what if you did this? What if you cut half its tail off and half of one of its legs, and then you were like, get out there and tell your friends, if they come past that tree, they're mine. And then you throw them off the property?
Oh, that's bad.
You need to leave one alive to tell the story.
To warn the others?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this story.
If you kill them all, then nobody's around to tell the tale, but you leave one.
Tail? That is tail?
Yeah. You know.
I don't like that you thought that up. And that's how you're going to teach them.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, Internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Look, face it, you're the one that's killing to Earth.
You're not doing enough.
You're the problem. I have it right here. Researchers at the University of Manchester have discovered that a barbecue, like the one you had over the weekend, for 4, releases as much greenhouse gas as a 90-mile car trip.
Well, doesn't it cancel each other out if you don't go anywhere for the 4th of July? So, I didn't travel anywhere last week.
I didn't go anywhere, so...
Don't I deserve some of the travel time?
Yeah, okay, let's say I had a friend that went on a 360-mile car ride.
Yeah.
I released 1/4 the greenhouse gases that
did a lot less.
So, I'm congratulating myself.
Yeah, actually, you're saving something. That's what they're not telling you.
Yeah. So they say that the biggest part of the emissions is not from the coal or even the propane that you're burning.
Is it the barbecue sauce or?
It's the burger itself.
Is it?
When you roast it, it releases the gases.
Is it just hamburgers, or what if you're?
That's what they're talking about.
What if you're doing something else, like hot dogs, or?
Of course, the scientists are here for us, and they say maybe switching to some vegan alternatives, we're going to release less
of the gas
into the air. Yeah. See, Big Vegan paid for all this. Brought to you by the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, I know. It's wait a minute, what's going on? So then what's Eric's thing, since he's smoking for 6-8 hours?
I don't know.
Is that even worse?
Probably even worse.
What does that equate to for airplane or car travel?
I have no idea. That's as much as a round trip, cross-continental trip in an airplane.
But if it's balanced between him and I, we each are allowed to have so much greenhouse effect or whatever, should work out even.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it is. On Sun, I have no idea what I'm talking about when I say this. I think the Earth can probably handle some greenhouse gases. It has some already. But, it's the driving your car and stuff.
We're not barbecuing or taking long trips every weekend. This is just the prime time for it.
I don't know. I'm taking a 90-mile trip a couple times a week because I'll tell you, this weekend I had 2 burgers.
Did you? Oh, because you're grilling?
No, I was eating on the go. But, whether I grill the burger or somebody grills it for me, hey, I'm killing the earth. And, of course, the cows. But then again, that cow that I killed for that burger
say that's
is
the
farting
worst.
less. And they say that's a big methane factory over there.
I guess what we're saying is we just don't know what to do.
We don't know what to do.
Don't know what to make, how to make it, when to make it, or if we should even be in the car at all.
I don't know. Our Earth, I feel like the end game here is that we all realize Earth would be a lot healthier without us.
Yes, but what do we do? So what do we do with that?
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to be in my basement running the air conditioner.
How dare you?
Hey,
that's the worst.
That's what I need. I'll skip my burger for my air conditioner.
As long as we have the AC, that's all that matters.
I'm eating a carrot in a cold room.
See, it's about balance. You got to find some places that you can give and some places you can take.
Good call.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah is probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
You know, Nikki, we've talked about this before, and that is that you and I are just in the wrong industry.
You think so?
I do. I think we're in the wrong industry. I think that we should be out there doing something a little bit different, and here's a great example.
Maybe we were fine, but now it's time to move into. Maybe it's not like we didn't make a mistake. It's not
we didn't make a mistake.
It's just there's something else that we can do now too.
Nikki, I don't make mistakes. Just so we're clear.
I understand that.
Right. But I'm looking here, and I don't know that I necessarily want to get into names because I don't know that I want to promote it. Because we're going to be doing it. So I don't want to give somebody else credit. I mean, we're totally stealing the idea. But yeah. There is a popular streamer and Instagram model who over the weekend, I guess it was actually the middle of last week and we missed it. And thank you, Jerome, for letting us know about it. She's selling her bath water.
Ew. Are we saying bath salts or like water?
No, water.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a drug thing, but you mean like water.
She's selling her bath water. Now, I seriously doubt she's actually had a bath in this water. But
yeah, you never know.
You never know. She's selling her bath water, and I just want you to know I want to do that.
So how much are we getting for that?
So much money. Like some of it's on eBay for thousands of dollars.
No, is it actually getting that or?
I don't know.
Because you can put anything you want on eBay.
I know.
It's will someone buy it?
Well, yeah, they'll bid up, but will they actually pay it when it's over?
Ew.
And I don't know the answer. Yeah, okay.
I didn't think you could sell liquid or you can buy drinks on eBay.
You can buy whatever.
Well, they don't care. They're just happy you're using it.
And admittedly, like, this is, blah, 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 more prurient interest, that word. And I get that. But, what if, I don't know, just casual people wanted to pick up some Obadiah bath water?
No.
Okay, for example, all right, last night I did that wedding.
It's gonna turn weird.
I sweated so much. I was filthy.
Yeah.
And then, I go home, take a bath, bottle up the water.
Why?
Ship it out.
Why even do that? You could have just wrung it into a glass bottle.
So you just wanted to cut straight to me selling my sweat?
That could also be an option.
I'll just tell you, yesterday I could have sold a few gallon jugs.
Because it was so hot.
Of my sweat, because it was so hot.
I just feel like that falls under the person who'd be buying it might possibly be...
Supply and demand, Nikki.
I don't know.
There's a demand out there for my bath water.
Strange.
And you know what? We're not using judgmental words here.
We can sometimes. I don't think it's wrong every so often to throw it out.
So what do you think? Okay, let's think an 8-ounce bottle of my bath water. What
Is
do you
that
think?
Enough?
Well, yeah. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but yeah.
We don't want to pay too much for shipping. I thought someone would probably then buy it to bathe in it too.
So, yeah, but we could dilute it a little bit, right? Because, I mean, if you think about it, it's not like if you came and there I am in the bath and you're like, okay, this is like this part here is really bath water and this part is not as bath water. Once the water touches, it's all bath water.
I figured you take a bath and then someone's like you're ladling it in while you're in there instead of letting the water out.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Just taking bottled water or bottles and then just scooping it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and I mean, that would finally be a job where I feel like I'm doing what I want to do, and that is just sitting there. So, like, I just come in.
And you love baths.
I just come in. Yeah, and it's going to be a nice hot bath. And, like, you guys just pass me the bottles, and I'm passing them out.
And you could write off buying a bigger bathtub. Because technically then that's a business expense, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I could have a YouTube channel where it would be like bathtub thoughts.
Yeah, but
it can be like we can put the camera in such a place that it's not problematic.
There's no sensory. I just feel like whoever's buying it, like, are they drinking it? Are they bathing in it? Are they staring at it? I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Everything.
All of the above?
Yeah.
They take a little sip of it every day?
Yeah.
Medicinal?
Yes. It's to keep you healthy.
Keep you young.
It's a constitutional.
How did you live to 115? It's like, well, I drank this stranger's bathwater every day.
Aaron says you can't sell anything on eBay. Human body parts are a no-no. Well,
it's not human body parts, it's the water.
I'm glad to know that's true. Yeah, I'm glad to know that's true. And Jerome says, hey, she sold out.
No more bottled water?
He doesn't mean like she's a sellout. They're out of bath water. But the amazing thing about that bath water is it's so easy to make more.
Take another bath.
You know what? I'm in.
I'm going to pass on this, but I'll help you with the marketing.
We should sell some bath water on eBay. We should. You don't want to do it?
No, I don't want to.
All right. Fine. Wait for the day.
I'm happy with what we're doing now.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
So I actually really appreciate this when you really think about it. Michigan State University, they have done some testing, some surveys, some whatever, and here's what they're saying. They say that you've been, using an app or some online dating or whatever to find somebody that is compatible with you.
Yeah.
And they say, based on their research, using data from the panel study of income dynamics, which is a long-running household survey, what they found is that what seems to be more important than compatibility is marrying someone who is kind. And they say that if that person is kind, even like
if you're not compatible,
that kindness covers up the quote-unquote incompatibility.
Sure.
So if you think about, I love this idea. It's just like, hey, even if, the survey says that you might not be compatible, it actually has more to do with how you treat each other than it has to do with your core. Like, we both like watching Netflix, and so we should get married.
Sure, because a lot of times you feel like you're supposed to find someone who's exactly like you, because then you feel like, oh, you're not going to fight or you're not going to have any conflict.
Yeah. Nikki, conflict is the gateway to intimacy. They all say it is.
Then, really you're supposed to be looking for someone. If you find exactly you, then I don't think that's going to be as good of a thing. So even if they're a little different than you, you're still supposed to give them a chance.
So how about this? It says people invest. This is from Bill Chopik, Associate Professor of Psychology and Director of Michigan State's Close Relationships Lab. He says people invest a lot in finding someone who's compatible, but our research says that may not be the end-all, be-all. Instead, people should ask, are they a nice person? Do they have a lot of anxiety? Those things matter way more than the fact that the two people are introverts and end up together.
That's fascinating.
Well, it is fascinating because the other thing, too, is like over time, this kind of fascinates me. They talk about how, like, hey, you'll see people get married at 19 or 20, but they're very different when they're 25 and they're very different when they're 30. So it seems like more important than being the same is the ability to handle circumstances, because the person I was at 18 is certainly not the person I was at 19.
So even if you're compatible right in the moment, it doesn't mean you'll be compatible for the rest of your relationship. So better to still be nice.
Well, but if you think about it, like kindness is kind of a character trait that would carry forward versus both loving rock climbing may not.
That's right. You're right.
It may not be something that lasts. I love your choice,
your example. I don't know anybody who likes rock climbing.
I do. I know a couple that rock climb together. I do. I ran into them.
What are you guys doing?
I ran into them at a gas station getting soda, and they were buying like power bars or whatever. Like, we're going rock climbing down or whatever.
They're compatible.
I was like, I'm going to drink this soda and play Tomb Raider.
Yeah, we climb too. That's fine.
It's all the same.
Well, that's, I think, not just in relationships and dating, but remember, let's be kind no matter what.
I think it might go farther than we think it does. You know what?
Throwing it out there.
Michigan State. It's not me. It's Michigan State.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
Thank you, Lisa, for texting us a picture of She's wearing 3 hoodies.
Oh, at the lake fishing? Yes. Are you going to fish when you're in Oregon, or you just like to go to the lake?
I got family members that fish. I'm just like, look, fish are gross. They taste gross. They smell gross. And they feel gross on your hands.
So why fish for them?
There's nothing about the process I enjoy except for the sitting there part. And I can skip all the gross parts. And you know what? I got another one for you. I think putting worms on hooks, gross. I think cleaning a fish, gross. And why would I quote unquote clean it? And by clean it, you mean clean it out. I mean, you've already, like, you're kind of, it's been suffering, you know, like suffocating a little bit at a time in the little water that you have with you. And then you're like, hey, fish, I'll throw you back. Just kidding. I'm going to take a knife to you and gut you. Just so I can
so
not
is that a
eat
no?
you.
Okay, you're not going to?
There is, aside from the sitting on the boat, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Sure. You just don't want to do anything, though?
What do I want fish for? Fish is gross. There's nothing good
Some people
about
like
fish.
to eat it.
No, that's wrong. Like, if you like fish, that's wrong. It's a bad thing. I actually think somebody makes this joke, but it's so true. The best compliment you can give fish is that it doesn't taste like fish.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
That's got to be in a stand-up routine somewhere. But it's so true. Every time you tell somebody you don't like fish and you don't want to eat it, they're like, this doesn't even taste fishy. And it's like, then why don't we not have fish at all? I'll take a burger. I'll take some chicken McNuggets.
Anything besides that.
Anything like that. No, I don't. I don't want to fish.
No. Now, what about Groupon?
You know what? Let's just take a break.
Oh, we need to talk about it.
We'll get to Groupon.
Okay.
We're 2 minutes in. I need an hour to talk about Groupon.
You don't want to possibly start that?
I'll tell you this. It's not a fishing Groupon. Don't worry yourself. And you know what? Let me just tell you what.
Oh, there's more.
If you're a guy or a girl, you know, I feel like as a man, I'm supposed to like fishing. If you don't like it, don't let them fish shame you. Okay? Don't let them do it. Don't let them make you.
What if you do like it?
That's fine.
Doesn't go back the other way.
It's fine. You're one of those weird ones, but it's fine. I don't want to impale a worm on a hook.
You can use lure or other stuff, can't you? You don't have to use a worm.
Who even wants to? All right? Like, I don't like it, okay? I just don't like it. And it's okay for me not to like it.
That's correct.
Just like it's okay for you to like it.
But you still don't understand.
I don't understand. I mean, I do understand why you like it, but it's still gross. But it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I want to say hello to Michelle. She sent us a story on Facebook that she thinks is right up our alley, which is...
It just doesn't feel real, does it?
Let me just tell you what. The Riot doesn't do this kind of humor.
No, not normally.
But
for Michelle's sake, we will.
Yeah, and Nikki, just to let you know, maybe the original story is false, but I have found multiple national level outlets reporting on it.
The same thing?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to look on the Facebook page, too, for the county whatever, which they cite in the story. But again, it just feels not real.
So here's what we have. This story comes from Clay County, Missouri. The Clay County Sheriff's Office last weekend was searching for a person who had a felony warrant for arrest. They were in possession of a controlled substance, a.k.a. some kind of a drug.
They had something. They went on a run.
Yeah, so they ran. Suspect hid to avoid police. And
this is the part. This is the part I don't even know.
He supposedly farted so loudly that they were able to find where he was hiding.
You think they started laughing?
It can't be real.
See, I know it doesn't feel
it can't be real.
It does not feel real.
But I will tell you that I found this story on multiple news outlets, and I have not found any kind of retraction.
I don't know.
I haven't found any that say it's fake.
It does kind of feel like the type of story where the police would have a really good time promoting it. So it's supposedly on the Facebook comment section of the Clay County Sheriff's Office site. So who knows?
I did some digging, but he couldn't hold it in. And
well, when you're nervous, do you think it was a nervous fart?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, he was very stressed. He's got people chasing him.
Here's my
him or
thought.
her. I didn't catch if it was a guy or a girl.
Yeah, me either. So my thing is, it could be, all right, I'm sorry, everybody, in advance for this, but like when I go to the gym, there are all these guys that take all these supplements and stuff. So the bathroom in the gym is like the most horrific place you can go. The sounds, smells, and sometimes sights that have greeted me there are just horrific.
Which lends itself to maybe
if this guy's on some kind of a drug, maybe he, like normally you would be like, bro, just like hold it. What do you do? Like just
maybe he
wait it out.
Maybe it was medical.
It may have been medical and more than he could handle because he had ingested
all that
one
stuff.
of these controlled substances. And either A, his brain was inebriated to a level that he thought, oh, they won't hear me. Or
he didn't even know it was out loud.
Yeah. Or he was, in fact, dealing with something that was far more powerful than his body was able to control.
Something happened. And if this is not a deterrent from you taking drugs, I don't know what is.
And they need to lead with this. Don't lead with, you might get addicted, because nobody ever believes that. Everybody thinks they won't be the one to get addicted. But, like, you might get arrested from farting so loud. That's plausible.
I know. You could be worried about it.
That is totally plausible.
So even if, like, again, we feel like this story's not real, but it seems like this story is real.
It's in USA Today.
May
It's
this
in the
be
New
a
York
lesson?
Post. It's in the Kansas City Star. It's in...
I don't think newspapers or main sites care anymore, so I don't know if that...
They don't even care if it's real.
They don't care. They're just wanting you to look at it.
All right. Like USA Today feels like somebody you could probably trust if they're reporting. No?
Probably not.
All right.
So Clay County Sheriff's Office, and that was in Missouri?
Yep. Sure was.
Just be careful.
Good for them.
With what you're doing, what you choose to do during the day, because you never know when you'll be a news story, and this one's a bad one.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Listen, I love cake, guys. I love cake. I want cake.
There's a grocery store that we prefer, and they have this delicious chocolate cake with a vanilla buttercream icing.
Come on.
Really, it's the icing that shines through.
Doesn't that sound good?
Doesn't it? I mean, it's not that whipped cream sort of one that you might get on another place, but it's just a nice buttercream.
Oh, it sounds good, Nikki. I'll have that.
We always get this one type whenever we get a cake for the show.
Okay. So there's a woman who ordered a cake for her daughter's birthday. Now, let's keep in mind, her daughter's 25, but her daughter loves Moana.
Yeah.
The Disney movie, et cetera, et cetera. She loves Moana.
We can like that movie at any age, right?
Hey, yeah. Like, I love Winnie the Pooh. I'll watch the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh with you right now.
You'll have no problem with that.
And that's
but do you
just
want that
for
on your cake?
Starters. Sure. I would totally take a Winnie the Pooh cake. I love Winnie the Pooh.
So the mom orders the Moana cake.
She does. And this is in Milledgeville, Georgia. Now, she orders this Moana cake on the phone. Do you know where this is going?
I saw the picture of it. Which I guess, so what? Did the person hear marijuana instead of Moana?
Yep. That's exactly right.
And so on the cake, but where's the My Little Pony thing come in?
Well, I think maybe they just added it. But it is a marijuana cake that's got like a cannabis leaf and then a marijuana smoking My Little Pony.
See, this feels fake to me, though, because most chains for cakes and grocery stores, I don't feel like they would ever make that cake. They wouldn't be allowed to.
So
Was it a smaller bakery or what?
Nikki, marijuana is legal in many states.
Yeah, I know that, but they're not doing the smoking pony.
And you know what? It's your outdated attitudes
towards cake and marijuana use
that are causing the problems. And so what we really need to do is we need your generation to die off so we can finally have what we want.
So wait, was this a grocery store or was it like a smaller bakery?
I don't know. I don't think
you could not see walking into Giant Eagle and then be like, yeah, here's your smoking pony cake. They're not going to make that.
First off, it should be a cake they offer, and I want them to call it the smoking pony.
But it's not. They're not going to do that.
Or, Nikki, I want that to be our new bar.
The smoking pony?
Come on down to the smoking pony.
No, it seems like a vape shop.
Okay, that's good, too. What if yes, I love it. come down to Smoking Pony, and then we get a cease and desist from the My Little Pony people.
It'll take a while before they catch up with us.
You know, we make our money and we get out while we can.
That's right.
The Smoking Pony.
And then we have the bar.
That's $1 million idea.
The bar is the Drinking Pony.
I don't think so. I think it's still
switch over to it.
I think it's still the Smoking Pony.
And then the pony is like our franchise, but then you put in whatever it is.
Whatever it's doing?
Yeah.
Okay, the first two that I thought of are
Can't
not
say out
good.
loud, can you?
They're not good.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Save it for when we expand.
That's right. This idea is too hot. I don't want to ruin it all.
Don't
right
tell
now.
people about it.
That's it. So
Jason said the cake's for medicinal purposes.
Listen, cake can be for medicinal purposes. And again, Jason, it's that attitude that's keeping us from getting. You just want me to go to Big Pharma and get what I'm looking for when I could get it all naturally.
If it is a natural bakery and they can do that, then that's one thing.
Well, there's no marijuana in the cake. It was just, the logo.
Is there?
I don't know the answer to that.
We don't know, do we?
Okay.
You'd get that at Cake Pony, wouldn't you?
What about, we got to keep with the Jaren thing, so it's the Baking Pony.
The Baking Pony?
Come on down to the Baking Pony.
Like, can I get a marijuana pony cake? No, but we do Moana. See, I see some holes in this story. I don't know.
It's fine. It's totally fine, Nikki. And you're right.
I've ordered the cakes for our anniversary shows and stuff, and I know that at the grocery store they're not offering that.
Yeah.
It's always like Tinkerbell and Thomas the Tank Engine, and we're just wanting balloons. So I don't think they're doing that.
Baking Pony. I like that. And I think that's an infinitive, not a gerund.
It'll
I'll
work.
get to work on it.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I feel like today I'm going to do a very adult thing. Do you see that bag that's sitting over there?
What is it?
See, it's a bag.
Are you going to the bank, or
no?
What else is more adult than that?
No, so I have something. Actually, I do. It's something I've never done. And if you had said to me earlier this year, like, you will do this one day, I would be like, no, my mom will be doing that. I don't do that.
What is it besides that, or like the post office?
Okay, I'll tell you what it is.
Can we guess?
Yeah, go ahead. See what? Can you see?
Well, can you crinkle it or hold it? Let me see what shape it is.
All right, it's square.
It's square. That's not helping.
No, it's not.
It looks like you're going to mail something, so I don't know if it's anything outside of that.
Inside that is some rotting meat that I bought at the grocery store.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why'd you bring it in?
Because I'm taking it back.
You're returning meat?
Yep.
You're returning that?
Yep, I am.
Aren't you going to leave? Well, I guess, should you leave it in the freeze or the fridge?
Yeah, I should take it in the fridge here. I sealed it all back up, but I opened it and I was just like, whoa!
Bad meat.
Oh, yeah. And I just decided, I was like,
You're taking it back?
That's right.
That is a grown-up thing to do.
That's something your mom would do.
Yeah.
Your mom would be on the phone to the manager.
Like, we're not taking this.
I shop in there all the time, and I've never had this problem before, but I was going to make a roast, and this meat is awful.
So why do you think we don't usually do that? Because I don't want confrontation. Like, outside of Costco when they don't care.
No, it's from Costco.
You're going to take it? Well, then they're fine. They'll take anything back.
Yeah, but it's just weird. It's weird.
Very weird.
It is. How do you think I feel about it? I had to put a note to remind myself to get the rotting meat out of the fridge.
What was bad with it? It just smelled bad, or?
Everything.
Everything was wrong?
It was rancid, baby.
They're going to think you're just taking it back like you didn't want it.
I don't think so. Like, right?
Who
comes all the way? Listen, I don't even know what I'm doing. What is wrong with me? I need some time off, because I am like gonna go in there with my apron on and tell them, let me tell you what.
Obi's going on vacation, and he'll be off on Friday, and then next week we've got Worst of Riot. But he leaves tomorrow after the show, and he's very close to that point where he just can't take anymore. Just very, very close to it.
I'm not there, though.
So what if you go and try to return it at Costco and something happens and you snap?
I'm not going to snap. I've got the receipt in my pocket.
That's what everybody says before they go and snack.
Meat.
Yeah, okay. Just
hey guys, I brought my rotting meat here. And they'll be like, why did you bring it back? Because we both know if I showed up with just the receipt, you wouldn't give me my money.
You wouldn't take it back, so I brought it back. And I left it at work out in the studio all morning long.
But it's sealed up.
Yeah, but it needs to be cold, even though they're not going to sell it again, so why bother?
I hope they do.
They're not going to. They're not allowed to.
And I hope they create a never-ending cycle of rotting meat and returns.
Everybody keeps returning this thing for years and years.
It's just the same thing.
I never would have guessed that's what you got going on today.
I know, right?
Proud of you, though. You're getting your money back. Shouldn't be eating it.
Do you guys hear what's happening to me? I'm falling apart. I bought a Groupon yesterday. I'm returning rotten meat. What is this?
Is this the new you?
What is happening?
Are we supposed to expect this, or is this just because again you're kind of frazzled with your vacation coming up?
You know what? If you guys want to keep track of where I'm going, I actually pinned 5 ways to deal with rotting meat. It's on my Pinterest right now.
No.
And you guys can go there.
No.
And I'll show you how I sealed it back up and things to do. Nikki, I had to come up with a quick meal in 15 minutes because my meat had rotted.
No,
and
but
so
he did create, if you follow at Obadiah's Meat, you'll be able to follow along on the adventures.
Don't because that's probably a thing.
As he tweets, as the meat goes back to Costco, what happens to it? And
what
the car
will
right
happen
there,
next?
because basically you're taking what you bought and you're sending it back to the farm, so you're getting rid of it.
I'll bet this will go just as great as the warranty services I tried this year. Oh my gosh!
Hey, you want no more coffee, but do you want some water?
I need to get a job where I make so much money that I don't return things.
You just throw it away.
I just throw it away.
Don't care.
Just like people.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So I'm back from Oregon, back from vacation, had a surprisingly good time there are a few exceptions. There's the murder room. I can tell you about that at some point.
The murder room?
I'll tell you, I found it.
Okay.
I found it.
Like an official one? Or?
Well, not... Are those ever official?
No, but do you just felt like it was?
I'll tell you about that later. But now let me tell you this. I have this thing where I think every web designer should be forced to use their own website. Every architect should be forced to work or live in the buildings and homes they design.
They might learn something.
Yeah, and I think that whoever the jerk is that designed the new chairs that United has installed in their planes, they should be forced to fly.
Only
not in the middle of the day when you're rested and happy. At night, overnight, and take a red eye in that chair.
Well, what's their fly? Is it the real thin ones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they look surprisingly, shockingly.
It's like a wafer.
Yeah, and you're like, where's the rest of the seat at?
I'm like, oh, this is the seat. And, okay, I actually, believe it or not, I'm not the guy that's like, my bag. Most chairs I sit in them, I'm like, I'm fine. Whatever. I don't need a fancy chair. I don't need attention. Whatever. I'm fine. I sat down in that chair, and within 5 minutes, I was like, what?
What's wrong?
There's right in the middle of my back. What is the problem? And it was just that was the beginning of the epic. So I have this red-eye flight. It's supposed to last. I'm going into Chicago. It's supposed to be a 4-hour flight.
Yeah.
They come on, and they're like, hey, guys, crazy tailwinds. We're going to be in Chicago in 3 hours. And I was like, well, that cuts my sleep a little bit. But
better.
That's better, right? Yeah. What sleep? We didn't have any of that. I didn't sleep almost at all.
Because the chairs were so painful? Or the crazy tailwinds?
No, I hurt all over. Then we get to Chicago, and they're like, hey, everybody, just want to let you know, we're going to Milwaukee.
Why are you going to Milwaukee?
Because Chicago was having a thunderstorm, and we didn't have enough fuel. So they divert us to Chicago, and the good news is... Or Milwaukee, yeah. So the good news is we get to spend extra hours.
Oh, refueling?
In the chairs.
Did they let you off the plane, or did you have to wait?
They come on after we've been in there for 90 minutes. They were like, hey, guys, you've been in there for a long time, but we know those seats suck. So we're going to go ahead and let you deboard for a while.
Stretch your legs.
And then they come back and they're like, I'm sorry, we're just kidding. We're just going to hang out here for like another hour.
Well, basically, they were probably going to have you circle in Chicago, and you didn't have enough fuel to do that, so they had to put you somewhere.
That's right. All I know is that I want a gift certificate for, 3 to 4 months to a chiropractor and a masseuse to take care of the damage.
To sit through.
What? Who designed that chair?
They
must weigh 90 pounds and be 5 feet tall.
They wanted them to have a smaller profile. So then what you think is like, so you can have more room, like leg room and space in between. But no, so they can get another row in.
So here's what happens. We finally land in Chicago. I will say kudos to United. They just went and delayed all the flights.
Oh, well, then you can make your other one.
I didn't have any trouble making my other flight. It was basically an immediate connection. I walked out of gate C4 and walked into C1, got onto a plane that was like 100 years old.
But how are the seats?
And they hadn't updated the seats. And I was like, you know what? If you had sat me in this seat, I probably would have complained about it. But right now, this is a top-of-the-line leather recliner.
Because they didn't take all the stuffing out.
I sat down in that chair and fell asleep almost immediately.
Aww.
Almost immediately.
Well, that's too bad.
Who designs those chairs? Because I am sure you got a promotion, but what you deserve is an eternity in that chair.
You know that person got like $100,000 bonus because they got another row in the plane.
Probably more than that. They were so celebrated.
How's your back now, though? Is it pretty good?
I don't know. I can't feel it anymore, so it's fine.
Yay, so it's not a problem.
It's gone numb. I mean, I think I still have legs.
It's still on the plane.
If I focus, I can walk.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I was on vacation last week, and I camped at a national forest, like national park.
Yeah.
Basically, Diamond Lake Park. It's a national park. The United States, blah, 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 Forestry Service, whatever, runs it. Do you know that inside, it's not like this everywhere, but I could have brought a chainsaw and all the wood, the trees that were down, I could have cut them up and split them and used them for firewood.
You could have?
I was blown away by that. If I had known that, holy chainsaw.
I guess I thought if we were we weren't supposed to touch the trees.
This is not at every campsite. It's not everywhere. But where I was, if I had brought a chainsaw.
Could have done the work?
I could have. So I went around and found a bunch of people who took their wood from like where they had left and then split it myself and I had a fire for days. The reach to heaven. It was huge.
All the while the trees are there like, someone new's coming in.
Well, what?
Don't chop us down, sir.
What you know about forest conservation and what actually is forest conservation is very different.
It's like when I went to the turtle farm and then you could eat the turtles at the end. Like it is a weird thing.
It's the circle of life, Nikki.
And it's not pretty a lot of times.
It's not. It's not. So while I was there, I found their murder room. Now, I have heard people say to me, there's nothing wrong with this room or this thing. You're the one that has to make it all weird. So you have a problem.
Yeah.
It's not the thing. But I'm telling you right now, the men's room at Diamond Lake Park, just north of the K5 campsite, is a murder room. And here's how I know it. First off, they don't turn the lights on until it's black as midnight out there. So you got to go in. They got skylights.
Yeah.
You have to go to the bathroom pretty much in the dark all day.
Well,
and then eventually the light comes on.
They don't want to attract bugs and stuff to come towards the light.
I get it. Fine, whatever. So I get in there and it is, I don't know, like 11 o'clock, whatever. And it's, it's mostly empty. So you're just like, hello?
In the bathroom.
Is there anybody in here? I can't see.
Would it be more awkward if there was other people in the bathroom at the park at 11-something at night?
I can't see. Hello? So I hadn't taken my flashlight that time because, of course, the light's going to come on. And then you just hear that flickering light. The light never comes on. It just continues to flash like I'm at some kind of a rave. But
something was wrong.
It never turns on, and I'm like, is there anybody in here?
Why'd you go in?
I swear to you, I just did, come on in. Stop by. And I just knew that if I did go in, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to die, but I have to go to the bathroom so bad. It's die out here of an exploding bladder or go inside.
Well, I'm sure it was fine. It just makes you nervous.
And so, I mean, I talked to somebody else, and they were like, yeah, the light just doesn't work. And I was like, no, it's a murder room.
So you take it to the extreme?
Something's wrong with me. Like, it just is. I was like, that's a murder room. There's like somebody hanging out in there just waiting for a chance to get you.
And what you don't realize, there's a park employee who's just begging the park to be like, can you just approve to fix the light?
A new light?
It makes people worried.
It makes them nervous.
Yeah, they're nervous.
Some guy called it a murder room. Can you believe that? Our bathrooms, which we put so much effort into cleaning and maintaining.
You don't even need to have a problem with the light to know that there's an issue with a park restroom.
You'd be surprised.
Did it flush or was it a hole?
Oh, yeah.
It
was nice. And, I went down and went to the shower facility, which was incredibly well lit. Thank you. And
that's the part where you want the lights down a little. Like, you could deal with some dimming of lights.
I don't know. If I go into a room that's lit like a rave and I'm supposed to be taking my clothes off and stuff, I'm not feeling good about that either.
There's this old British show, Space, that we like that has the rave scene. Mm-hmm. You should have totally played that music while you were in the bathroom. Scared everybody off.
Turned out there was nobody else in there.
Just your mind.
But I'm convinced that was a bad place.
Well, maybe one day you'll see it in the news. No, that'd be bad. Not that someone died.
No, you'll see in the news that they replaced the light.
That they replaced the light, exactly. It's finally been fixed.
It'll be national news and find your way here.
It's been fixed.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
I think I've heard it all. And then... And then Nikki lays one more jewel on me.
Listen, you've been on vacation, and I'm just catching you up the things that have been happening in my life.
Tell them, Nikki. You have to tell them what's happening.
The day that I have two new puppies. They're two little, they're sisters. They're little golden Pyrenees. The day that I brought home my two puppies, I feel like
wasn't that nice?
I feel like my neighbor needed to one-up me or something. And I am in the suburbs. Like, I'm in a neighborhood. We have rules. There's just HOA things. There's rules that you follow. And the same day, he goes and he has like this clear aquarium thing that I see him because I'm out in the back with the puppies and he's bringing around a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, wow, what's in that tank sort of thing? And then you notice it's like chickens and pheasants, sort of birds. Like, I can't tell what type they are, but it's birds, but it's like chickens. He made a chicken coop in the back of his yard. He has chickens. You can't have chickens where we're at. Like,
are you sure? Have you checked?
Well, the HOA says you can't have like the obnoxious things.
Okay.
And you can't have like the housing structure for them.
Okay, but what if they just live in the shed?
No, you can't have a shed, which he put a shed in front of it so you can't see the chickens.
No one would know. So so that tells you he knew.
Well, yeah.
You're not supposed to have chickens in here, bro.
I want to let you know something about me in case you didn't know this. I don't like to confront people.
Okay.
I don't like when people don't like me, so I don't like being the bad person.
Okay, sure.
But I don't know what to do about this because I'd have to be the bad person and tell on him.
Nikki, what if we told you that
Or I just live with the chickens.
If you do that, the chickens will have to die.
Well, yeah. But what if he goes, what if he just starts bringing in more stuff?
Now, you wouldn't want somebody to come and kill your puppies, would you?
Puppies are allowed.
Okay, but you go kill this guy's chickens, but that's
I'm
okay.
I'm not killing the chickens.
He's attached to those chickens.
No.
He loves those chickens.
And then he brought more the other day. He brought more around.
Okay, you got 2 dogs for a total of 3.
I think he has 3 or 4 chickens.
Okay. Well,
and so I told Obi they've been pretty quiet, so like I don't feel like telling on them if they don't make a lot of noise. There's no rooster as of yet.
Okay.
But when I walked in the back the other day, you just hear like they're just making all these little chicken noises. Like I go, they're talking. They're talking now.
I think you might be birdist.
No, I'm not.
I think you're anti-bird.
I think it'd be great if you had a chicken thing, but don't you have to be a little bit outside of the suburb limits?
You know, the other thing, Nikki, is that I hear that along with, there's a little something that rhymes with chicken coop.
Poop.
That, as I understand it, is very strong.
Well, you're not supposed to, have them in this area. So I don't know what to do.
Derek says, report him and shut him down.
See, Derek, I would, but I don't want to be the bad person. But if someone reported him, it would obviously be me.
How do you know? How could it only
because
be you?
Of how
You're the only person that can see it?
The houses are positioned. It would only be us.
Well, you know what, Nikki? It's time for you to set up an email address that your name is not attached to, like chickenhater6@Yahoo or something, and you email him just like blah, 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 not Nikki. That's how you sign it. Not Nikki.
Not me. Well, I feel like I almost want him to get...
Find out somebody else's name in the neighborhood and put their name on it.
I'd have to, because his neighbor on the other side, they can't see it because of the back of the house that kicks out on their side. So they probably don't even know there's chickens back there. What? I need a rooster or something to make more noise, not just a little chicken noise.
Well, do you know who the Homeowners Association president is?
I do.
Should invite him over for a barbecue.
No.
Have him in the backyard. Be like, wait, are those chickens?
Like, technically, we went through the like rules and stuff, and technically, I think he's violated maybe like 10. So there's a long list of things, and he just never had neighbors to call him on it. And that would be me. And I don't like confrontation. And I like chickens, but just not next door.
That's why you just contact the president. They'll know
it's me.
They won't. Yeah, but do you ever talk to him? Have you ever talked to them before?
Eric has.
Okay, well, then it's Eric's problem. It's not yours.
I would just feel it. That negative energy. I just hate that. I hate that stuff. Does anybody want to...
David says get Eric to report it.
I know it's going to have to be. I don't know. I just can't do chickens.
Christy says tell him you're going to report him unless you get free eggs for life. Yeah, come on.
But I don't think that's why he has them there.
Jen says he knows you won't report him. That's why he put it on your side.
Pretty much.
I think you need to call.
I need to
report him,
because
Nikki.
if you don't,
blatant lawbreaker.
Listen, if you don't cut the problem off early, he's going to have a pig next or something, or like all these little farm animals. I know it's what's going to happen. I know it. Unless he gets a pony, I'm not into that. So we got to figure it out.
You're going to have to do it.
You want
to
come over and make a call for me?
Sure.
Do you want to call the people?
Like, hi, my name's Eric. I'm married to Nicole.
No, you just say.
And she hates chickens. The man over here has chickens now.
He has chickens. He's not supposed to have them. I don't know what to do.
You know what to do.
I know what to do, but I don't want to do it.
Enforce the law, Nikki.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, do you still have a cat, right?
I have one cat left.
One cat still clinging to life.
One cat. He doesn't do anything, which is why he is older, but still very, very young. He hasn't stressed his body out by like walking around. But I have Panda. That's my last cat.
Panda's just like, listen, I'm going to live forever.
He's 12 years old. I mean, he's older, but he does nothing.
What is that in human years? Or
I don't know the equivalent for cats, but
like
I've always had cats live like 14, 15, 16 years.
Okay.
And then that's usually about it. But his paws are so soft because there's no stress on him. Nothing.
He's just super chilled out.
He's just a very relaxed cat. He sleeps all day, eats, goes back to bed. That's it.
I don't know why I know this, but that's like Jennifer Lopez. She says she sleeps for like 11 hours a day or something.
She does?
It's some ridiculous. Where did I read that? Where she was talking about, everybody's like, how do you look so young?
It's like sleep.
And she was like, I sleep all the time.
Well, I mean, it works for her and it works for my cat. So that's 2 confirmed cases.
It's working for me. I sleep 6 hours a night. That's why I look so good.
So stunning.
So good, Nikki. So I'm looking at a study here on cats. Oh my gosh. I didn't scroll down to look at the pictures.
What's the study about?
Well, they're calling it the meow-obesity crisis.
Oh, no. Oh.
So the pictures are of...
no, a fat cat?
Fat cats.
Oh, let's not shame them like that.
They say that most domestic cats are overweight.
Yeah.
And that their weight problems really collide with their health at about age 8. Which for a cat, they say is middle-aged.
That's the time.
Mm-hmm. So they say that... cats' weights have climbed steadily until about 2005.
There's an epidemic. There is.
They're straight up calling it that. It's the meow-obesity crisis, Nikki. The American Veterinary Medical Association published a little something in their journal, and they're saying they looked at this. Think about this. They looked at the weight of 54 million cats.
Yeah.
And measured the, the weight stat. And then it was 19 million cats, but they got 3 measurements for each cat. So they got to chart their progress across the years. And let me tell you what happens. Cats just keep getting fatter and fatter.
That's all that's going on.
You got to stop feeding your cat,
I always tell my
food.
cat when he's like a month out from his next vet appointment, so he can say, all right, we're going to buckle down, and you don't get as much food. You have to have less food so you weigh less.
Okay, here's a couple things that you'll notice that may be signs that your cat's overweight.
Yeah.
Are you ready? A decrease in appetite? That's interesting.
That doesn't work for us.
An overall activity decrease.
Well, that's still a cat thing.
General mood and temperament.
That's a
down,
cat thing.
Abnormal gait. Reluctant to move.
Sounds a lot like
difficulty jumping.
people that we know.
Lower head posture.
Aww.
Growling. Eyes closed. And, well, I'm not straining.
I gotcha.
Just leave it at that.
I remember because my cat flirts with being a little overweight every so often. But
just a little bit.
But he's very fluffy. And I remember the day that the vet said, no, he actually has big bones. And I was like, oh, thank you. He's not overweight. He just walks the line.
Nikki,
he is a big cat.
How much are you paying that vet? Because that feels like one of those vets that you pay a lot of money to.
It was a relief. They did take a vacation right after. So maybe I was a part of that.
Oh, man. Well, there's a meow-obesity crisis.
Aww.
Don't feed the crisis by feeding your cat today. Starve your cat.
No, that's not what you're supposed to take from
answer?
this. No.
That's not the answer.
What would be the dog version of meow-obesity?
Barkity?
Barkity?
It doesn't have
close. We're not there yet.
It's not quite the same ring.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
If I were to make a list of problems in my life, it may fill a very large book. Because, let's be honest, you've heard me on the radio. I mean,
there's stuff each morning. I mean, it's not
every day.
I don't think it's necessarily big stuff, but there's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you put a lot of work. You compose a song and you get the orchestra together and you play it for your co-hosts, and they're like, you're missing the mark.
Sorry.
That's.
Am I adding to your problem today?
I'm not calling that a problem.
Oh, just
I'm calling
something.
that an obstacle. Okay, that's just day-to-day life. But I feel like if there was if I could sum it all up into one real word, what is Obadiah's problem? What is your problem?
Yeah, what do you have?
It would be Obadiah. I think I'm probably...
You are the name for it now?
I am the problem. Because, I mean, we could go into a lot of things, but here's the thing. We're going into the weekend, right? So I was thinking this weekend, what do you want to do? Do you want to get something? Do you want to this? Do you want to that? And, you go through this big list of stuff. And I will tell you that when I started thinking about the weekend, I started thinking about the things I would like to do this weekend. A lot of the things I would like to do are things that I've done a million times. And here's what I've discovered. The things that I want to do, I won't really end up enjoying them that much. They won't really satisfy. I'll probably regret them on Monday. And yet, I'm like, this time it'll be different. This is
You're
the
sure
one.
of it.
This is the one. This time, we're going to do this. And I know I'm going to feel good. I'm going to be glad. I'm going to be refreshed. It's going to be fantastic. Now, how stupid is that? How many times have I done the same thing with the same result, but there's something inside me? Should we call it optimism? That is not this time, guys. This time, we're going to get it right. This time, it's going to work. Well, I want you to know that I'm not alone. I know I'm not, because as I look around, there are all kinds of people everywhere that are making the same problem I'm having. Or no, making the same mistakes. You have the same problem. And your problem is not Obadiah. Your problem is whoever's staring back at you in the mirror. You're convinced that this time it's going to be different. But, I mean, if you really think, you're not stupid. You know that this time it's not going to be different. I know it's not going to be different. So this morning when I was talking to God, which I do, I was telling God what I wanted to do. I was talking to him about the fact that I know that it's not a good idea. And, it was like, okay, God, what are we going to do about it? And I just started asking him for help. I was like, okay, God, you know what? I want you to help me. I know that this is a dumb choice. I know that this is what I want to do. I need some help making an adjustment. And I want you to know that the same God that was hanging out with me in my car today Jesus, who loves me, who cares for me, who knows that I've done dumb things, but is still around. I want you to know that he can be with you in your car today, in your bathroom, at your job, where, summer school, wherever the heck it is that you're headed today. And he can help you go, no, not this time. This time we're going to try something different. And this time we're going to get a different outcome. Look, it's just as simple as asking, say, Jesus, I need help. I keep making the dumb choice and hoping for the good thing, and it never works. I'm ready to try things your way. Come into my life, fill me with your spirit, show me a different way to do things. Man, God is absolutely going to do that.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Should we talk Burger King? Do we need a break?
No, I don't feel like it. No,
okay.
I think we can talk Burger King. What happened?
Okay. Now, I love Burger King, and I'm really hard on Taco Bell, but more and more, I feel like Burger King is like Taco Bell. We want your title.
My hat.
Hold my crown.
Yeah, because I can do this.
It's like they want to be the worst.
Sure.
It's like they're edging that way. And I mean, I could tell you so many stories. Like there are Burger Kings that I refuse to go to at all. But if you are a close student of the show, and you should be, you know that a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, a Burger King opened near here that has been like, whoa, this Burger King does Burger King right.
Now, we've never had such a new one before.
No.
So is this just how it is with all new ones?
I don't know. They had put a lot of faith back in the Burger King brand for me. So when I came off the plane, for my vacation this week, I went to the Burger King in the airport thinking I really want some flame broiled goodness, and walked over and there were just two employees standing there. Lots of people waiting on food. Nobody cooking.
No one making food.
No one cooking. Everyone just kind of standing around. And I was like, yep.
That's what you've come to know when it comes to that, fast food place.
This is Burger King. So, I don't know who. I want to say it was Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon here. Somebody came and stunk up the whole first floor here at Radio U with a burger. It smelled like Burger King. I mean, if you told me that we were either building a Burger King in Radio U or that we had sold the building and Burger King was here, I would have believed it.
So did it make a craving or something?
Intense craving. So yesterday I was like, I have to do something. I'm going to Burger King, and I'm going to the Burger King.
The newer one?
The one that hasn't failed me yet.
So how was it?
Well, wouldn't it be interesting if I had actually eaten at Burger King yesterday?
Well, why not? What made you change your mind? Did they change your mind?
No, Nikki.
Did they do it?
Do I seem like somebody that when they have a craving, they just change their mind?
Listen, we wouldn't be having story time if everything went as according to plan. What happened? Did they not give you their food?
I'll tell you exactly what I did. I rolled over there. I waited in line. Got up there. It was my turn. And I had just been on the phone with a friend of mine. I was like, man, I got this burger craving. You don't even know. I was like, I got to go. It's my turn.
Little did you know.
Well, I rolled up to the window and she's like, hey, can I help you? And I was like, yeah. And I was so hungry that I was like, man, I might just get a double Whopper. Like, go big.
Right.
I want that big burger taste.
It's a cheat day.
I'm so hungry. And I was like, you know what? I was like, yeah, I want a double cheeseburger. Like, we'll back it down. We'll back it down just a little bit. And she's like, I'm sorry, sir. We're not serving any burgers at this time.
What's going on? That's the whole thing they do serve.
I actually said to her, I was like, wait. This is Burger King, right? Yes, sir.
I'm sure she hadn't heard that one yet.
Like, so you guys don't have any burgers at all? Like nothing, no burgers? No, sir, the flame broiler is broken.
And now we're...
And I just told her, I was like, I came here for a burger, so I'm out.
I didn't know anything else?
No.
You don't want a
I didn't want their
BK chicken sandwich?
I didn't want a chicken sandwich. I didn't want their chicken nuggets. I wanted a burger. I wasn't even going to order I was ordering nothing but a burger. It's all I wanted.
You got greedy. You wanted it, and you can't have it.
They said I could have it my way away.
Wrong. Nice try.
So as you can see, like so many other people in your life, it's like they're not going to let you down. They're not going to let you down. They're not going to let you down. And then...
Down. You didn't even get a freestyle or something?
I got nothing.
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 Were you stuck in the drive-thru?
No.
Because of like a barrier?
I'll give them credit. This Burger King has got to drive out.
They know.
You can just cut out. They knew that day was coming.
They said, it's better to be prepared in case we got to let them out.
Why would I ever think that there's a Burger King that consistently and quickly could deliver me a burger? My heart is broken, and I still haven't had a burger.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
I don't want you to tell this from the female perspective. I want you. Here's
Just
the man.
tell you the facts.
Eric, who is Nikki's husband, comes in, and he has a bagel that apparently Nikki wants. So what does he do? He gives her his bagel. He's like, I have a bagel, but you know what? You want it. I love you so much. Here's my bagel. So he brings it over. He sets it down. She gets the bagel. She takes a bite of it. Eric's bagel's not good enough for Nikki.
None of this happened.
All of it happened.
No, it didn't.
I'm not done. So he sets it down in love, an offering. Nikki rejects his offering of love. Sacrifice. No bagel for me. You take the bagel. I'll go hungry. Then Nikki takes a bite and goes, I don't like it.
No, I didn't say that at all. I said I don't like a cinnamon raisin bagel, so I gave it back to him.
So, okay.
It is a pronoun.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how I feel it went?
Nope, not done.
Can't I?
Not done. Because then she's like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go in the break room.
We have these amazing bagels in the freezer.
We do. I'll make myself a bagel, and I'll just take some of your cream cheese, which we all know in reality is I'll scrape all the cream cheese off except what has soaked into the bread.
Yes. No, I will try to leave some.
And the expectation is that that's fine.
And would you go make me the bagel?
And make the, yeah, okay. Now, if we were to turn that around, that would be considered abusive behavior.
No, it's not. And that's not even how it went.
That is a very accurate description. Fine, let's hear your how it's okay to abuse Eric.
Well, I saw he was getting breakfast. I said, did you get anything for me? So when he came in, he handed me, making it seem like.
How did you know he was getting breakfast?
I could just see where he was. I got the notification.
So let me see if I got this right.
Oh my God.
If that doesn't sound abusive, tracking Eric wherever he is all the time.
No, I just
Eric, I know you just went to get some food.
Do you want to hear what the next step was or not? Or we just want to yell at me?
Oh, you know what?
What, you don't like this step?
Please, control me some more.
No! So then I said, could you next time just let me know because I would like something for breakfast too. I want a bagel or a donut. I would like that.
And
then
Eric said, you know what? Here, take mine.
Handed me the donut or the bagel, made it seem like, he had gotten me something. When I see it, I then find out, I know he did not get that for me. He just got that for him. But he was trying to make it seem like, he did bring me one.
Okay, so he sacrificed his for you.
Well, yeah, but I like a cinnamon raisin bagel, so I gave it back to him.
After you taken a bite?
That wasn't me. It was him who took the bite.
Would you just put your nose on it and smell it?
No, I looked at it. You could tell it's a cinnamon raisin bagel. I do not like a cinnamon raisin bagel.
Right.
So then he has it now and he can eat it.
Rejection of offer of love. Go make me something I like and I'll steal your cream cheese.
Hey, between this and the picture you posted, you're not being nice today.
What are you talking about?
Being very trolly today.
I posted a great picture of Nikki on my Instagram that if you want to know the truth, I actually do think it's a great picture because it's Nikki just like, hey!
Bagel! No.
Bagel!
Bagel! Okay, but he ate all of it, so now there's no more cream cheese left.
No, there's still some left. You can still steal the last of his cream cheese, which is for the best.
We only have a little butter left in the fridge, and I don't know whose it is, so I need something.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
After my biscuit steamer, I'm feeling a lot better.